Hey everybody, welcome to our Wednesday night Epic Empire team call. Thank you so much for taking the time in your evening to be on this call. I'm excited because we have some amazing things happening in the month of August. Obviously, we have Team Cup, which means everybody is really rocking Success Club, and I'm going to go over those numbers in a minute. We have a lot of rank advancements happening this month, so make sure you post on our document when you rank advance and when you get Success Club points. And Success Club is just the challenge packs, 2 points. Shakeology Home Direct is 1 point. And I'm going to go over those names and recognitions right now. So the people we have on the board, which means they're super close to Success Club, is Jason Delancey at 4 points. Linda Cozola, that's a new name, 2 points. Welcome, Linda. Drew, 2 points. Congratulations. Sherry, 2 points. Catherine Jeffries, 2 points. New coach. All right, let's see. Tracy is at 3 points. Maria, you're at 2 points. Barbara at 4 points. Victoria Carter at 1 coach and 2 points. Lee is at 4 points. Sandra, you're at 4 points. Amy O'Rear is at 2 points. And Annette is at 4 points. All right, so for Success Club 5, these are the people who have officially hit Success Club for the month. And we'll start qualifying for leads. And that is Denise, you have 6 points. Nicole Chapman has 2 coaches, 5 points, and is rank advancing to Emerald or has rank advanced to Emerald. Jamie Droomy, these names, like I don't know these people. Y'all, this is crazy. It's getting so big. I don't even know these people in this list. It's insane. All right, Jamie, welcome. 6 points, and there said your name, so congratulations. Katie Barber, 5 points, first month in Success Club. Congratulations. Katrina, 1 coach and 6 points. Beth at 8 points. Brittany Fleetwood at 2 coaches and 6 points. Julie Robertson, 2 coaches and 8 points. And Ren Young at 6 points. And then in Success Club 10, we'll just call these our rock stars. These are people who are not only hitting the non-negotiable, but going beyond that, and will qualify for Shakeology leads next month, meaning they basically get commission directly from the company without having to do anything, which is pretty awesome. Kelly Slaughter is at 12 points. Sarah Grimm is at 13 points. Jenny Bradshaw is at 3 coaches and 19 points. She's a new coach. Amazing. Congratulations, Stephanie Dooley. So proud of you. 10 points coming off of Summit. She's really stepped it into high gear and doing amazing things. Alex Grimm has 2 coaches and 14 points, and Carla Henry has 3 coaches and 14 points, and I skipped my name for some reason. I don't know. Myself at 2 coaches and 10 points. So that is our Success Club. I know we have some new emeralds coming out tomorrow, so I'm super excited to announce those on my wall. And if you're an upline coach, make sure you do something super special for your emeralds when they hit that achievement, because it's kind of a big deal. It's that first moment when you're really starting to grow your business. And you're going to start leading people, which goes into what tonight's call is about. And Brigitte Linford and Katie Hafner have a pretty good call on this topic. So I'm excited to share it with you. I've listened to it myself and I enjoyed it. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share and get us started because it's kind of long. Make sure you get some pen and paper and take some notes. All right. Where? I can hear somebody blowing their nose. All right, I'm going to go ahead and press play.
It has to be a non-negotiable that you guys are hitting Success Club. It is the cornerstone of this business. I know people are probably a bit tired. We're always talking about it, but it's because we know how important it is. We know the difference between people who hit Success Club consistently every single month and the people who are in and out and the people that never hit it. Their businesses look very, very different. I promise you, these 2 ladies are not missing Success Club. They lead by example, and their teams follow because of it. If you want your team, your future coaches, to be growing businesses so that you have a residual income, so that your business becomes something that sustains your family, then you've got to lead them by example. You can't force anybody to do this business. You just simply got to put your own self forward, and those people will follow. So that's number 1, Success Club, nailing it down. We've had 3 more days, plenty of time. That is literally 3 challenge packs. maybe 2 challenge packs and 1 Shakeology order. That's all it takes to hit it. So even if you're at 0 right now, please don't count yourself out. There's 3 days left for P90X3 and T25. The challenge packs being on sale for $180. They're normally $205. Those are programs that are the biggest programs in Beachbody right now. It should be a given that you're promoting those. If you haven't hit Success Club yet, I know it's super tempting to go and promote the 21-day fix, but that doesn't come out until the 3rd. So if you have not hit Success Club yet, please do yourself a favor. And don't talk about that. Talk about the T25 and P90X3 that's on sale right now that can land you in Success Club. Also, if you did register for Cancun, remember that all of these points that you're getting in Success Club are doubled this month. And that means that is covering that much more of your trip. If you're not going to Cancun just yet, put your name on the waiting list, because last year when the cruise sold out the very first month, everybody was freaking out because they're like, oh, I'm never going to get to go on the cruise. What if I do really great this year and I don't get to go? Well, I pretty much think that everyone that wanted to go ended up getting on the cruise. What happens is people end up backing out of it. Something happens where they can't go. They quit coaching. Who knows? But there'll be plenty of spots that open up. So even if you haven't registered yet, register to get on that wait list so that when the time comes, all these points are applied to your business. Okay, lastly, Team Cup. The Team Cup challenge is going on right now. You guys have to get on a team. If you're not on one, it's a team of 5 people play, then some of the prizes none of you qualify for, even if you have the points. So I'm not saying be scared not to join one, but be ready to challenge yourself and push outside your comfort zone. That's the beauty of the Team Cup. It changes businesses. I've been on Team Cups with people who were brand new coaches who ended as diamonds. That's how much it can impact your business. You know, it's just like challenge groups. It's the support and the accountability of like-minded people that can really push you outside your comfort zone and make you do things you might otherwise talk yourself out of. So it's a really, really great, important aspect of this business to be a part of every promotion that they put out. And the Team Cup is one that I have never not been a part of, because every single time we have a Team Cup, my income grows. Every single time we have a Team Cup, we have more rank advancements than any other month. Every time we have a Team Cup, I see people who are making their businesses go from, par to all of a sudden they're superstars. Melanie Mitro, back in the day, she was on my Team Cup, and it was the February Team Cup. And she's actually now number 2 in the company. And I really feel it was being a part of that initial team that we started to better each other and to bring each other up and saw the potential of what could be with this business. So please, no matter what, if you don't know anyone else on this team, message a diamond or above and let them know that you still need to be on a team so that they can place you. Because there's plenty of people that have 3 or 4 and they need 1 or 2 more members. That could be you, and it could build lifetime friendships. All right, so getting to the meat of this call so that I can kick out my little daughter and my brother who's over here as well. We have 2 ladies who are just brilliant. Like I said, they are some of the top people on this entire team. We have Brigida Linford, and she is in Idaho Falls. She was, I believe, number 16 last year is where she ended up. And just an incredible person. You'll see, oh my gosh, we have team calls that I still go back to and listen to because this girl is just a gift. And then we have Katie Hefner, who is a 7-star diamond, elite coach 2 years in a row now. Her coaches, Nikki Minton and then Nikki Minton, who has Melanie, they have changed this Bombshell Dynasty as we know it. They have turned Pittsburgh into a town that didn't have many coaches at all to a huge, thriving town in Beachbody. And this girl is more creative than you could ever imagine. So I'm super excited for the call. I know I'm going to be tuning in along with Miss London. And Brigida, I think you're taking it away first, right?
All right, Lindsay, if you can stop broadcasting. Thank you so much. Okay, I am really excited to talk to you guys tonight. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you can't, just comment below and let me know. But as we get started, I wanted to point out something really quick to you guys. For Super Saturday here in Idaho Falls, we have Lewis Ross from Beachbody Corporate come. And I thought he shared some really interesting things about coach relations that I wanted to share and pass forward to you guys. And the big thing is coachfaq.com. And I think since we're talking about leadership tonight, it's something that as a leader, you should all know. But he told us that they are constantly adding new articles to their database. And so when they have customer service looking things up for you guys, they are going on to coachfaq.com. So you sit there, you call them, you have a wait time, someone finally answers, right? And they type in coachfaq.com and they type in specific keywords based on the question that you're asking them. And then they're reading to you the article that was added. And he said that they have to do that because they're adding at least a dozen articles every single day to that coachfaq.com. But that is literally their database. And so as a coach, I hope that empowers you to realize you have the exact same database that Coach Relations does. You can look things up your own. I think as you are developing the leaders on your team, anytime a coach asks me a question on our team page, all of my coaches know that I answer, but I always tell them where to go find that answer, so that they know where to go and get it themselves in the future. And I think as you guys do that and you're copying the pages of Coach FAQs, it will really strengthen your whole organization so you don't turn into Beachbody Google. The other thing is the Coach Online Office. So there's always new announcements. I'm surprised how many coaches don't know about the breaking news part of your Coach Online Office. So the top right-hand corner, make sure that's something that you check every day. I found that they've been adding a lot of really cool documents underneath Beachbody Challenge Group, really cool flyers and stuff like that I know so many people always look for, those flyers that say, all of the challenge packs that are in the 140 price range, 160, 180. Well, Beachbody came up with one actually. It was really neat. It's in the back office. And if you haven't been checking breaking news, you probably didn't know about that. So just to empower you all as leaders, wanted to make sure you know about that. Now, why are we talking about leadership? Why does this matter? And there's a few things that have happened recently in my life that have really helped me to learn that everything truly does rise and fall with leadership. People are buying into the leadership that you are showing them before they buy into that vision. And if you aren't leading your team, if you're not leading the coaches who have entrusted in you, you're letting them down. I want to share this interesting story, experience that I had yesterday, actually, just yesterday at church. When I was at church, there's this guy who came up to me, and he's in my ward, he lives in my neighborhood, and I guess I didn't realize this about him, but he is a corporate guy for another multi-level marketing company. And because of some of the information I'm going to share, I'm not going to tell you which one, but he's one of their main corporate guys, and he's over all of their IT development. And so he's telling me that he has so much respect for Beachbody, and he just thinks it's so neat that I'm doing Beachbody, and we get talking, and he tells me that when they have their corporate meetings and they're sitting down and brainstorming as a team, that the main people are telling them, go look at Beachbody, find out what they're doing, and copy them. So he was telling me that he's worked for a couple MLM companies, and all of them are trying to catch up with Beachbody. He was just saying that Beachbody is just years and light years ahead of everybody else. And then some of the things he's telling me about this company, I just was so surprised at their leadership, the lack of leadership, and how it was affecting his opinion, his view of the own company that he worked for. He's talking about how one of the main downfalls that they've seen in this other company are trying to expand too fast. And so they feel that whenever they were in a country and they had maximized and everybody who was going to buy their drink had bought in their drink, they would open up a new country. And they would open up so fast because the leaders of that company are so driven by the bottom dollar, and that's all they care about. They don't care about, are we ready? Can we handle it? They don't think things through with the logistics of it, and so they rush it. And he was saying that it was just such a stressful thing to work there. Everybody was so stressed out. Everyone's in a bad mood. And these are the leaders. These are the people who are setting the tone for the entire organization. And it's $1 billion company, but he said that he doesn't even understand how it can possibly sustain itself long term. And he thinks it's so smart that Beachbody is sticking with this and coming up slow, with first going into Canada where there's the same language, there's not this language barrier, things like that. I mean, he was telling us even that, like, if a company goes into China, that it's illegal altogether. Like, you cannot have an MLM company in China. And any company that does, because he says that they are in China, they are paying off the right people. Because we're like, well, how are you in China? He goes, well, we just pay off the right people, but people are constantly being put in jail, and we have to go over there and bail them out. And I'm just sitting there thinking, this is bizarre. And more than anything, it reminded me how grateful I am for the leadership of this company with Carl Deichler. I think whenever we are sitting there looking at how can I be a better leader, we don't have to look far to have a great example in Carl Deichler and the integrity that he has led this company with. And that is something that we need to pass down through our teams. Like, I love following his page. I don't know how many of you guys follow his Facebook page and read his blog, but that is a man of true integrity who is thinking things through. He is not driven by that bottom dollar. He truly cares about having people live healthier, more fulfilling lives. And I think we are all extremely lucky. I think it's something we all take for granted, because everything rises and falls with leadership. And this company has great leadership. And so do the great teams, the ones that are succeeding, and people are running with this. We are all so lucky to have Lindsay Matway showing us by example how to do this. And that's why there are so many more leaders being duplicated in this business, because they are following Lindsay's example, Carl Deichler's example. So everything truly does rise and fall with leadership. So I decided to share that story because that was really interesting. Okay, I want to share a few couple points that I think are important when we're talking about leadership. And let's see, I've got like 4. So the first one is that you are always on stage. As a leader, everything you do, everything you say has an impact on your organization. I read this story. It was so interesting to point it out. Where there's this really good book called People Follow You. And he points out, like, if this leader walks into a business and they're having a bad day and they're really grumpy and they just walk through, storming through the office, all of a sudden people are overanalyzing, oh crap, I'm going to get fired. Oh, what did I do wrong? And to be honest, that's the same way, even though people don't see you, but how you respond and you react to people on Facebook. We have a tricky thing where it's a written word, and it's so often for things to be taken the wrong way. And so you are always on stage. Just be careful of how you're reacting and responding to your team, and recognizing that they're watching you, everything that you do. And it should be a little bit of a pressure for you to step up and be the best you that you can be. I always tell my coaches, your coaches are looking up to you. They're not looking up to me. They're watching your behavior to determine how their behavior should be. So if your coaches see you comment about the national wake-up call, they're thinking to themselves, I guess I should probably log on to that. If they see you engaging in the group page, they realize that, wow, this group must be something I should check every single day because my coach is. And if they see you consistently holding challenge groups each month, they realize that that's what they should do. If they see you getting on a challenge cup team, hitting that PV mark that Lindsay does a shout out for, hitting Success Club, you are the one who is creating the belief that they have for themselves. I'll tell you that even though I had Lindsay Matway that I knew I could look up to, I was looking up to my coach, Scotty. Like, when I was a new coach, I gauged all of my goals on what I saw my coach doing. I knew, because of what he had done, that I could hit Success Club 10 every single month because Scotty was hitting it every single month. I even knew that I could be in the top 25 after a year and a half in the business because my coach was in the top 25. So your coaches are following what you are doing. And that's because they signed up with you for a reason. You're the one they relate to and connect with. You set the pace for your team, so make sure you're setting a good pace. I remember a national wake-up call as a new coach that had a big impact on me, and it's something I think about every single day. Melissa McAllister got on, and she said that every day she thinks to herself, if my coaches did what I did today, would they have built their business? And that is something I want all of you guys to think about every single day. If your coaches followed you around that day and did everything that you did, would they have built their business? So if you're being consistent, your coaches will be consistent. All right. The other thing I want to point out about leadership is that people do things for their reasons, not yours. I hear the question so many times, how do I motivate people? And people are trying to scream, they're yelling, they're pleading their case, they're trying to push people to do things. But unless your coaches see that it is in their best interest to do the things you're telling them to do, they're not going to do it. And I think so often leaders are like, well, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And it's because you're trying to approach people the wrong way. The most effective leaders take the time to connect with their people and help them see why it is in their best interest to follow the certain plans that you are giving them. And when people connect to you, they're willing to accept your training, your coaching, your feedback, your direction, your vision, which is critical to getting them in the position to win. So this comes down to you building strong relationships and strong connections that are hard to break, because those are the foundation of truly prosperous long-term relationships that are built on mutual trust. Now, along with this, when we're talking about how do you motivate people, that comes down to, like I said on here, listening to their why, helping them connect that to their why, and reverse engineering those goals that they want to attain and helping to let them see how they're going to get there. Now, along with this, I just want to share with you guys what I'm doing for Push for Diamond groups. So often, again, you have coaches saying, well, how do I get my coaches to advance rank? How do I advance my coaches to Emerald so I can go Diamond and get to Diamond so I can go Star Diamond? I wanted to share with you what I'm doing. I know every coach is a little different, but this seems to be working for me. I've got, I'm an 8-star right now. I have 2 coaches who will be advancing to Diamond on Thursday, so I think it's working. But I have a Push for Diamond group, and I'm keeping it very simple. My whole team were stay-at-home moms. Most people work during the day. They're doing this part-time. And I felt that if I gave them another thing to do, a task, a daily to-do list, and put them in this group, it was going to overwhelm them. It was going to stress them out and get them sidetracked on the activities that they need to stay focused on. Because truly, you guys, if you're doing those 3 vital behaviors every single day and you're staying consistent with that, you're going to get Diamond. And if you teach your coaches to do that, they're going to get to Diamond too. And so in our Push for Diamond group, all I have them do is every day post about their daily business activity. I tell them, you guys, check in, tell me how many invites you did, how many people you added to your network, and how many follow-ups you did, and share with us what you learned that day in personal development. So everyone does a post once a day, they check in. Now, by being accountable to that, it not only increases your daily behavior, but also by hearing what other people are doing, it inspires you. Because I can tell you, like, when Melissa Reber, one of my Diamond coaches, was posting in the Push for Diamond group and saying, I sent out 20 invites and I did 40 follow-ups and I did this and that. She gives us a laundry list. You better believe everyone else in that group was like, whoa, crap, I better step it up, you know? And that's what happens, that you're together, you're better. But I love this quote. When performance is measured, performance improves. When performance is measured and reported, the rate of improvement accelerates. So that's what you're doing in a group. And even if you just want to do this accountability group with your downline, it's going to improve and accelerate the rate that they're building their business. Now, the other part that I do in this Push for Diamond group is doing a weekly one-on-one call. I use Acuity Scheduler, acuityschedule.com. It's ACUITY. Just Google that, and you'll be able to pull it up. And I share that link. It's free. I don't have to pay for it. And my coaches click on that link and they create a time to do a 30-minute call with me. And on that 30-minute call, we go over 3 things. What was their greatest success of the past week? What was their greatest failure? And their overall success, overall personal development aha moment. That's what I like to call it for the week. So they're going to have good weeks. They're going to have bad weeks. But I want them to become trained in seeing that there are things that they can do to improve. We are constantly self-correcting and adjusting. Nobody is perfect. There are always things that I know I can do that I'm trying to change. But I don't want anybody throwing the baby out with the bathwater. There's still good in everything that you did. If you're trying, there was something good that you did. So I want them to find out what that is and think about it. And then there should be something that was a life-changing aha moment for them, at least one every week. If you're not continually growing and improving yourself and developing your mind, then you're not going to get there. So I know some people can't do this. They have a lot more PS coaches. This is not something I do with all my personally sponsored coaches. This is the people that I posted in my group and I said, okay, who wants to go diamond by February 19th? Who's going to do it? And they tell me who they are and I put them in this group. If they don't participate, if they aren't posting, they get removed from the group. So this is something what I'm doing. And then it'll be the next date, so it just moves up to each quarter. I start a new Push for Diamond group. So personally, that's what I'm doing. Now, like I said, this works for my team. I think everyone's a little different. It depends on the team dynamic, but I wanted to share with you guys what I was doing. Now, another thing that I see a lot of coaches run into problems with is they get burned out. They don't know how to sustain the energy to lead their team. They get stressed out and they're thinking, oh, I don't know how to do this continually. I'm having a hard time and this and that. And I was thinking about this the other week and I kind of had this aha moment because I'm cleaning my house because we're going out of town this weekend. We've got a babysitter who's coming to stay at our house. And so of course, everything has to be perfect, right? And I'm sitting there thinking that, here's this junk drawer and there's a Lego in here and a Polly Pocket and a knife that goes in the garage and a wrench and tape and all of these things that have just collected that don't belong there. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, if I would have taken just, let's say 30 minutes a day and cleaned my house and did a little bit at a time every single day, I wouldn't have to have these drastic makeovers or haul overs and fix it all at once in spring cleaning. I don't know if anyone else does this, but spring cleaning is weeks long because I just really go deep, just cleaning things like crazy. But if I had done it a little bit at a time every single day, I wouldn't have to take that time out to do that. And I think it's the same thing as a coach. Mom, that kind of was the wrong slide. So, but you need to take time to take care of you. So that actually is this next slide here. You need to take time to work on your own personal development. You need to take time to make sure you're exercising every single day. I can't tell you how many coaches I see who stop building this business because they stop exercising and they stop eating clean because they think it's too time consuming. And then they feel like a fraud and they don't feel good. So they don't want to invite. This is something I was talking about with another coach and she's doing all of this. She's like, I just don't feel good and I'm not seeing the results I wanted. And so she's doing this testing with Sagi. And it's that's what a good leader does, is when they sit there and realize, okay, I need to do something to take care of me. And even if it's this investment, I'm going to do whatever it takes so that as I take care of myself, I can then take care of others. And so that's how you can do that a little bit every single day, or you're going to run into a point where once a year or every 2 years, you're going to break down and it's going to take you a couple months to pull yourself together. So avoid that by doing a little bit every single day to take care of you, whether that's writing, closing your eyes and just visualizing. You need to take care of yourself every day. And along with that is this 20-mile marker. Made a video about this that you guys can go watch, but it's a story of 2 teams that were doing adventure racing, and they set out to do this, and one team set the goal that every single day they were going to go 20 miles. And it didn't matter if it was rain, sunshine, snow, whatever, they were going to do 20 miles every single day. And even if it was a great day and they had so much energy and they could have done so much more, they said, no, I'm doing a 20-mile marker, and that's what it is. The other team set the goal of, when it's really sunshiny and it's like amazing and the conditions are great, we'll go as far as we can, even if that's like 90 miles or 100 miles or whatever. And, we'll just work really hard. And then if, we're not feeling so good, our feet hurt, someone's sick, then we'll take a rest. We'll just do a little bit. And they compared these two teams, and of course the one that sent that 20-mile marker blew them away. That they were the team that came successful and who won that race. And that is something I think, especially with new coaches, that you need to be mindful of. I think it's smart if you say, okay, I'm going to do 5 invites a day, 10 invites a day. Be consistent with it every single day, and you'll hit Success Club, you'll reach those goals, as opposed to saying, I'm going to do 40 invites one day, and then the rest of the week you're so overwhelmed and you don't invite anybody because you're responding to 40 people. It's just not sustainable. So you need to find what is sustainable for you as a leader. Make sure you're taking care of yourself so that you can continue to bless other people. All right. This is my second to last point, so I'm going to try and hurry through this so I get plenty of time for Katie. This is something I was thinking about yesterday as well at church. And if anyone knows the difference between these two themes, right here, this is a shepherd and a sheep herder. Now, a sheep herder is someone who is behind these sheep. They're yelling at them. They may even have these dogs that are coming up and chasing them, trying to keep them all in line. And a shepherd is someone who truly loves those sheep. They take care of them. And those sheep love that shepherd in return. And they will follow them and do whatever they want and, follow them anywhere. And I want you guys to think about this for you. Like, are you being a sheep herder and trying to chase down your coaches and ask them, what are you doing wrong? Why aren't you checking in a challenge group? Why aren't you doing this? And just fighting them? Oh, or are you taking, are they leading you? Are they following you? And I think with so many people, they're like, well, how do I make the difference? How do I become that sheep herder? And that kind of leads to my last thing, is leading with love. This is a post that one of my coaches did. Leading with love doesn't mean that you don't give people advice, because you want to position your people to win. But this means you're doing whatever it takes to help your people get better through training, observation, coaching, ensuring that people are in a position that takes advantage of their talents, helping them to remove roadblocks and solve problems. You want to help them develop that strategy to reach their goals, right? So if somebody comes to you and they're saying, I'm so frustrated, a crappy leader is going to tell me, you're right, it's so hard, I don't know what to do. But you need to give them advice. Go check out their Facebook page, scroll through their posts, be honest with them. Be like, you know what, I'm checking out your page and it's really salesy. You can be nice, but giving them advice. So leading with love is still being honest and truthful, but it's an attitude. It's how you are viewing the people that you are leading. And when you are truly loving people, then you want what is best for them. Now this is my coach, Melissa Reber, and probably should have messaged her to make sure she was okay with me sharing this, but she posted it in our team page. She's an amazing coach. You guys are going to see a lot of her moving up ranks this year and being on the leaderboard. And the reason being is because she leads with love. And people have come up to her and asked her, what are you doing? And we had both read this book. I read this book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. And I was talking about it in my Push for Diamond group, because I check into my own Push for Diamond group and I tell my coaches what I did that day in my business activity and in my aha moments from personal development. So when I was reading the personal development book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, I was sharing that with them. And so Missy went and read it. And I know that when she read the chapter 9 about greeting the day with love in your heart, I know that that had a profound effect on her. And she shared that in the team, just how that was a breakthrough moment for her. And I wanted to read a few things from this book, but it's talking about greeting the day with love. And he says, a muscle can split a shield and even destroy life, but only the unseen power of love can open the hearts of men. I will encourage my friends, and they will become brothers. Always will I dig for reasons to applaud. Never will I scratch for excuses to gossip. I will love all manners of men, for each has qualities to be admired, even though they be hidden. I think one of the greatest qualities of a good leader and a good coach is seeing the potential in somebody and helping them to see that. Finding the strengths that they have and pointing that out to them so that they can take advantage of those strengths. And I'll be honest, there's something annoying with every single person in the world, right? And you can choose to criticize them. You can choose to find fault in the coaches that you are leading, or you can choose to love them, find their strengths, point that out to them, help them see their potential. I don't want to get all churchy on you guys, but I'll tell you something that I've done with this is to truly just pray about it and pray about my coaches. Because you're going to get people who maybe you don't relate to, and you're wondering, how do I motivate them? How do I help them to build a business when you maybe are not connecting with them on a level? And that's when I pray and I ask God to help me see that potential in that person. And how can I, see them the way that God sees them? How can I love this person? And even today, I went on this run and I was kind of annoyed with somebody and I was praying for it. I was praying like, hey, God, help me see the potential in this person and the strengths that they have. And I found these two qualities and characteristics in this person that I was like, you know what? I really do admire that. Like, I wish I had that in them. And I just felt this like love, just wash through my body where I just felt this love for this person. And as a coach, you really have to love your coaches. And if you do that and you love them, like, they can sense that and they're going to love you back. You will be that shepherd where they want to do what you're doing because they can tell that you love them, you care about them. And if you can read this post from Missy, she just is saying the same thing. How has she found success? She loves people. How is she dealing with objections? She loves them. And she shares this story that, like, she reaches out to these people and they will say no, they don't object, but she's like, I truly am I love them and I'm expressing my love to them and my genuine excitement for them. And how that has changed not only how she responds to them, but like how they respond back to her. And so she's seeing great success in her business, and her team is seeing success in this business because she loves them. So it's kind of where I wanted to end out because I feel that that's the most important thing, to be honest. So with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Katie Hefner.
Oh, am I am I on now? I have like a weird delay. Can everybody hear me? Oh my gosh, guys, it's so weird. It's like lagging. How do I get it off of video? Okay, cool. Wow, Brigida, geez Louise, I'm like tearing up over here. Like, gosh, I need a moment of an emotional break. So thank you guys for having us on the call tonight. I'm really excited to share what Brigida and I talked about yesterday. And I think it's going to be so interesting for you guys to see our different leadership styles and the different way that we present information and the different things that we focus on or think about. And I would really encourage you to just take everything in tonight, absorb it, take notes, listen to the recording, and then figure out what's going to work for you and your style and your team and what your takeaways are from tonight's call. So to get kind of back to leadership, I wanted to touch on what leading is all about. And it's really all about shaping your team culture and your mission through a vision, through innovation and inspiration. And I'm going to be talking a lot about inspiration because I love for things to be emotional and creative and really get your juices flowing. You get the butterflies in your stomach and that feeling of this is something so much greater than what we are. We're doing something together that's so much bigger than we could do by ourselves. So it's really all about moving people emotionally to make your vision a reality. I have 5 main talking points, and I'm a huge note taker, so I like to set up my calls in a way that's very easy for you guys to follow along and take notes and really soak in the information. So the 5 points that I'm going to cover, I'm not just going to give you vague things about them. I want to give you guys some actionables so that you can reflect on those actionables and actually implement something after this call. So here's a little preview of what I'm going to talk about. Number 1, your mindset of employee/boss versus an entrepreneur and leader. Number 2, you must know yourself to grow yourself. 3, start where you are. Keep it simple, people. Number 4, inspiring leadership. And number 5, leaders are proactive, not reactive. So we're just going to dive right in. So as you can tell from the picture, I wanted to illustrate the difference between being a boss and being a leader. And I wish that I could find one that was talking about being an employee versus an entrepreneur. So I'm going to go over that a little bit. But if you really think back to when you were a child, we're groomed to be great employees. And this is something that Lindsay Matway opened my eyes to. And there's a really interesting study about it. But when you're young, you have parents and teachers and everybody giving you really specific direction on what to do. And you hear the word no a lot. And they sway you away from doing certain things. So if you start to get off course, they reprimand you. And you're taught to follow direction and really play by the rules. Then you grow up and you get a job, and at this job you're trained to do a couple menial tasks. You know, like your first job is an ice cream scoop person, and your job is just to scoop the ice cream and pass it to the cashier. So you're really just taught to be this assembly line worker, so to speak. You're told what to do and how to do it. And if you think about it, you're kind of like a drone. You know, you punch in, you satisfy whatever the job requirements are, you try to stay out of trouble, and then you punch out and go home and live your life. And I don't know, it makes me like so sad because I think back to my days of retail and thinking about how unfulfilling that was. You know, every day people go to work and they experience this gap between where they are right now and where they want to be. So they're big dreams for the future. And over time, they start to forget those dreams. They start to forget their passions. They settle into that day-to-day life. And they just focus on what they have to do to get by at work. They forget about their talents and skills and the things that they're naturally born with, you know, their natural born talent. And they just come into this like boss employee mentality where it's just all about giving direction and kind of keeping your head above water. So, you know, take that employee who started the ice cream scoop job and they advance in their career and they get good at following direction. So they're promoted, but they're promoted to a boss, which is just telling other people what to do. So it's this crazy cycle. So as you can see from this illustration, it really shows that being a boss runs on authority. You know, it uses people to get a job done. It commands people. You know, at the end of the day, they want to see results and they don't really care who is the cog in the big machine. This is a very dangerous mindset to be in. And like I said, you can forget about those dreams and your amazing skills and talents and abilities. And I just want to remind you guys that this is going to sound so dorky, but you are special and you're incredible and you have these amazing individual talents that you can share with the world and really let your greatness shine. You know, let that beauty that you were born with come out and be creative or like follow the path that's going to leave you fulfilled. So what does an entrepreneur or a leader do to break out of this horrible cycle? Well, for starters, they lead from the front. They don't sit back and wait for direction. They don't wait for instructions from their upline coach. They leap into action and they fail their way to success. I'm a huge fan of that show, Shark Tank, and the one thing that you'll notice that they always talk about is how many times they failed, or if they knew what they were getting themselves into, they probably wouldn't have gone into business in the first place because they made so many crazy mistakes. So understand that you're going to have to fail your way to success. Successful leaders and entrepreneurs coach people and work on bringing out their best natural talents and abilities. Successes are no longer just a one-man show. It's a team effort where not one person takes credit. And if you notice any leaders that get these amazing accolades at Summit or at Super Saturday, they all credit it to their amazing team and the people who made it possible. So it's not that boss mentality where you're at the top of this pyramid. It's something where you guys pull together, build this amazing team and vision, and you're like, I don't even know what that's called, the Iditarod, like with all the dogs. It's like everybody is pulling their weight along the way. So leaders build their teams, they make it a team effort, and they lead with passion, and they nurture those relationships, just like what Brigida was talking about, loving your team and being that loving leader who really cares about what everyone's interests or their best interests are at heart. If you're an entrepreneur, you're willing to do whatever it takes to reach your goals. You're never going to punch in and out because you love your job, and your job's never going to be done. We're never going to help everybody in the United States and in the world lose weight. There's always new opportunities coming up. So you don't think of being a Beachbody coach as something where, oh, let me put in my couple of hours. It's like, no, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to go on and help the next person. Sometimes I have to pry the computer away from myself and limit the time that I'm spending online, because that's what passion does. You are so in love with what you do that it's no longer about punching in and punching out and just getting your work over with. Entrepreneurs are a very special breed because they're wired to accomplish more than they're currently accomplishing. So if you're sitting there thinking, man, it would be so nice if I made $1,000 a week, a true entrepreneur gets to that point and keeps on going. They don't sit there and say, okay, I'm satisfied, I've helped all the people I want to help. They keep going, they keep driving for more, they keep experiencing more so they can build on that and become this amazing leader. If you're an entrepreneur, you're the type of person who's driven and focused to take it to that next step. Bottom line, you want to rise to the next level of greatness. Entrepreneurs aren't necessarily concerned with the glamorous, which is what I love. They're willing to do what few others are willing to do in order to obtain the results that very few will ever experience. And the cool thing is, in other entrepreneurs, they have to build their business from the ground up. We're in a very unique opportunity where you could build an amazing business in 1 year, 3 years. I mean, even if it took you 5 years to build an amazing business, that's insane to me. That's crazy. That's like faster than any other entrepreneur on the planet. So thank goodness for network marketing, right? Now, the difference between employees and entrepreneurs, employees focus on the time that they spend. So they say, I work for 8 hours, I want to get paid for 8 hours. Whereas entrepreneurs and leaders focus on the value they create. So true leaders want their customers to walk away feeling they got a tremendous value. Like they got so much more value than what, can you guys hear the dogs? Because they're out in the hallway running up and down the hallway. That's so funny. But I want you guys to think about this. If someone buys a challenge pack, you want them to walk away from your challenge group or end your challenge group saying, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I only paid $205 for that. I cannot believe that I got a coach in this incredible experience for only $205, plus their Shakeology each month. So really focus on creating value. Employees focus on activity, whereas entrepreneurs focus on creating systems. Employees avoid fear, whereas entrepreneurs and leaders embrace it. Employees spend money, entrepreneurs and leaders will invest money. So I want you to ask yourself about you. How would you classify yourself? How do you lead your organization? Are you just going to be a follow the leader and obey and do what you need to do and continue to see the same results over and over and over again? Or are you going to take ownership for your business and do whatever it takes to accomplish your goals? Are you going to show your coaches how it's done instead of just bossing them around and managing them? Now, most jobs are led with that drone type leadership. a lot of yes men, that employee mentality. And I'm not saying that these people are lazy. I'm just saying that they do enough to get by, to stay on the payroll and stay out of trouble. When you become an entrepreneur and a leader, it really creates a sense of urgency, this excitement, this aggressiveness inside you that it forces you to become bolder with your invites. And it forces you to become bolder with, how many challenge groups you're running or how many people that you're making an effort to reach out and help. So I want you to ask yourself, who are you going to be today? So here are some actionables that I got from Miss Lindsay that I absolutely love. First actionable is find someone who has done what you want to do, who has achieved what you want to achieve, and watch what they do. Watch, what do they post on their Facebook? How do they act? What events do they go to? Are they doing personal development? Because success always leaves clues. Number 2, get outside of your comfort zone. If you're waking up in the morning and you're not so excited about your Beachbody business that you're flying to the computer or flying to go get your workout in, then you're not challenging yourself. You're in your comfort zone. And if you're in your comfort zone, you're not growing. The danger of being a leader and being your own boss is no one's going to sit there and tell you what to do. They're not going to stand over your shoulder and ask you if you did your workout for that day. You have to be the person to make things happen. You have to be the person to light your own passion on fire. Point number 2, you must know yourself to grow yourself. And I love how that rhymes, by the way. I think it's so cute. So in order to grow, you've got to know, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What am I interested in? What are my opportunities? You have to know, bottom line, what drives you. And I want you guys to get really clear on your mission and what it is that you believe in. If you're not clear on your mission, nobody else is going to be clear on your mission. And if you want to grow your team, you've got to know where you're coming from and what skills you need to develop to be the best leader possible. Now, interestingly enough, most people are not going to gravitate toward you because you have a six-pack. They're going to gravitate toward you because of your why. The why is something emotional that they can connect with. So everybody has a story, a past, obstacles, things they overcame to get to where they are today. And I don't want you to get caught up in the failed thinking of, I'm just a normal person. Nothing ever happened to me. I don't really have a story. Nothing traumatic ever occurred in my life. It's not about that. Abby and I, when we first signed up, we were sitting there thinking like, okay, I'm a girl in my 20s. I never had kids. I only lost 20 pounds with P90X, nothing crazy. But what I share are my struggles with not knowing what to eat or being so frustrated with not being able to lose weight that you resort to the starvation diet. Or you just, I literally threw up my hands and was like, well, I guess I'm just meant to be fat. So I share that. I share that I tried diet pills and all that crazy stuff. And I used to work out on the treadmill for 2 hours with no results. No matter what your history is, you have to get clear about who you are and where you've been. So use your God-given talents and skills to figure out the best way to share your message from there. Know your passion and start making a game plan. That's so important. So you have to stand in front of a mirror. Like I said, get to know who you are, explore who you are and what's important to you, and then you can start steering your ship down that path. My vision for Beachbody is so much bigger than, just helping people lose weight. So when I'm creating things like creating content, creating value, creating my blog, I'm thinking about my bigger picture. And my goal is to help people transform their hearts, to instill that belief in them again, to help them revive their dream, and really encourage women to stretch outside of their comfort zone and reach for their big goals and become a business owner and become an entrepreneur. So I want you guys to start thinking about that. Think about what is the bigger picture for you. And it's not about weight loss. It's not that simple. What is that thing that gives you those butterflies that wakes you up in the morning? So your action steps are be clear about what you want and why you want it, and then get super focused on it. You're your own boss, so you make the rules, you take the action, and you determine your results. When you become a true leader, others are inspired by your conviction and they follow suit. That's why they follow you guys. That's how you build a team. That's how you create momentum and change not only your life, but the lives of your team. So it's not just about we're here to lose weight. Share that bigger vision and share why that's so important to you. And I guarantee you're going to have people come into your business who believe in that. So here are a couple questions that you can ask ask yourself to kind of figure these things out. Why did I sign up for Beachbody? Why did I want to coach? Why do I want to help people? Why am I so passionate about this business? You've got to tap into the whys, and then from there you can develop your mission. Point number 3, start where you are and don't play the comparison game. Leaders don't make excuses, bottom line. They focus on the long haul. They know that it's going to be a lot of hard work. They know that it's not going to be like you plant a crop of corn and then it comes up the next day. It's going to take time to cultivate. So understand that you've got to just prosper where you're planted. You guys have tons of opportunity around you and things that you probably don't even think that you haven't thought of before. You just have to start recognizing those opportunities. And I'm going to warn you, opportunities look a lot like work. So don't get intimidated. So, I keep saying it, but I'm going to say it again and again and again. You each have your own special, unique set of skills and talents. And it's all about recognizing and developing your skills and using what you have now. So don't get trapped in the thinking like, oh, I'd be successful if I had a better personality, or if I had a six-pack, or I would be successful if I had a huge team, or all these friends who wanted to buy from me. The world, at the end of the day, doesn't owe you anything. It's not going to hand you success on a silver platter. You've just got to work for it, guys. You've got to just dig in. And I always say, this is like my favorite quote, but it's just jump and build your wings on the way down. You're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to have all these things like people emailing you out of the blue saying, let me buy challenge packs from you. Maybe you haven't done the training yet. Maybe you're just getting started. So I wanted to share a little shout out to my new coach, Mary Grace, who she signed up right before I left for Cabo, and she hit Emerald and Success Club 10 within 6 days of signing up. Mind you, this is after she told me that she wanted to essentially be a discount coach, and she just wanted to be a part of the team and hang out and have new friends. So why did she do this, or how did she do this? Well, she did this because she was willing to put herself out there, and she didn't worry about having all the answers. She didn't know half the things that she was talking about, but she simply got out there and she invited, and guess what? It paid off. It might not always pay off. I'm not going to say like you're going to sign up and everyone's going to hit Success Club 10, but the point is that she didn't let fear rule her, and she put herself out there and stretched herself outside of her comfort zone. And that's exactly what you need to do to develop into the leader you need to become in order to oversee a successful team. You can't win if you don't begin, right? If you want to, where am I? Oh, sweat equity. I don't know what I was talking about. Okay, so here's the other thing, guys. I can't stand complaining. And a lot of times as a coach, you see people start to do things like how I talked about Mary Grace hitting Success Club 10, and you start thinking, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not doing this? I suck as a coach, blah, 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 blah. Am I even cut out for this? You cannot compare your skills, talents, business, or anything else that you've got going on to other people. You have to have a laser focus and have control over the things that you can control, which are your actions. That's what you can control. Successful leaders don't resent other people for having success. They don't get into a tizzy and become jealous or resentful when others are doing things well. Although they do take a look at what others are doing well and take notes and follow in their footsteps, they're willing to work hard for their own chance at success. So if you're a leader, you have that mindset where you're like, you know what, I'm so glad for Mary Grace, but I'm over here and I'm gonna get down to the grind, and I'm gonna work hard for my own success and be proud of it. So be in it for the long haul, and don't make the mistake of expecting immediate things to happen. You've got to apply your time and energy daily, just like Brigitte talked about, that 20-mile marker. And it's so important to celebrate those small successes and milestones along the way. Don't just get to a goal and say, well, I did that, time to move on to the next goal. Really celebrate it and be in awe of how far you've got, how far you've come, even if it's hitting a mile marker like getting to Success Club or getting to Emerald. Okay, so here are your actionables for this step. Assess what you've got going on. assess like your talents, your skills, and how you want to share that with the world. Take a look at the resources you have available to you. So I always say, like, Google's your best friend. And don't make excuses for not being successful. Just make it happen. I was watching Shark Tank, and I forget what the product was that she made. But anyway, they asked her how she came up with capital for her product. And her brother owned this, I think it was like a car business. Anyway, he let her have these windows. She knocked out the glass of the windows and took the aluminum to the scrap thing. Oh, I think it was baby shoes. Anyway, she took the aluminum to the scrapyard and got like $40 or something. And that's the money that she used to start her business. So she could have sat there and said, I don't have anything. We're dirt poor. I can't start my own business. She made it happen. She found a way to get that capital together. And you need to have that same die-hard passion in your business and that same resourcefulness. So you're not just going to have things fall into your lap, unless you're super lucky. Just don't count on that happening. Really be in charge of your own destiny. And I'm so glad to see that you guys watch Shark Tank. Yay. And then the last thing is list your favorite business building activities. So sometimes you could be forcing a round peg in a square hole, or whatever that saying is, by trying to do things that you see other people doing. I'm trying to think of an example. Like, Jay blogging is pretty much the worst thing ever because he doesn't really write cohesive sentences and doesn't know how to use grammar. So for him, his sweet spot is videos. Whereas I love to write, and I love to write my blog and make it pretty with pictures and, yada, yada, yada. So my point is, find your favorite business building activities and stop trying to, do something because you're like, oh my gosh, I see Melanie Mitchell's doing this and Scotty's doing this and Brigitta's doing this, and you're trying to just jump on the next thing. By the way, Jay's very good at making videos, so we'll give him some credit there. But yeah, you don't have to just completely follow on someone else's footsteps in order to be successful. You think of it this way. When you're born, you get this little suitcase of amazing skills and talents, and you just have to figure out how to open up that suitcase and start using them. You can't borrow someone else's suitcase. You can't borrow someone else's skills and talents. You've just got to focus on what you have. And like I said, put those blinders on and get that laser focus for your own business instead of trying to hop around and follow everybody else. Okay, inspiring leadership. Great leaders inspire their team and bring out their best qualities. Being a leader is not about putting greatness into people. It's about bringing out their inner greatness that's already there. So think about this. Are you managing your team, or are you inspiring them to rise to that level to be the absolute best that they can be? And I'm going right into my actionable steps for this. So the number one thing you have to do to inspire your team is ignite your enthusiasm. You cannot inspire people unless you are inspired. Duh. Every inspiring leader has this abundance of passion. And they're not passionate about their products, but they're passionate about what their products mean to customers. So here's an example for you. Steve Jobs was not passionate about computers. He's passionate about building tools that are going to help people unleash their creativity. Do you see the difference? Do you see how that's like, whoa? You're like, oh my gosh, that sounds way cooler. So apply that to your business. You might be so passionate about TurboFire, but it's not TurboFire that you're enthusiastic about. It's what TurboFire has done or how it's transformed your life or other people's lives. Number 2, you've got to navigate a course of action. Nothing extraordinary ever happened without a leader who had a vision and a course of action. So JFK in the United States never would have made it to the moon if there wasn't a vision and a mission. You have to have a bold vision that's going to create excitement and inspire your team. And whenever I think about this, I think back to the days of the Bombshell Dynasty when we were first getting started. And Lindsay just painted this picture, of where we wanted our team to be on top of the leaderboards and how many people we wanted to be at Summit. And it was something that we could all kind of bite into. It was something that was like, I could feel it through her passion. I could feel like, oh my gosh, I could visualize it. So you want to create that same feeling for your team, which takes me to point number 3, paint the picture. So our brains, the way that we work, we're programmed to hear stories more than we are to hear these abstract ideas. And by sharing personal anecdotes, you can build that closer relationship between you as a leader and your team. So again, going back to Lindsay Matway, when she shares her story about having London premature and they were bankrupt and they were going through all these crazy traumatic situations and she was able to turn that around, you feel a connection to her. You feel the struggle, you feel the pain, and whatever your personal story is, you can share that and have people connect with you on that deeper level. Even when I shared on the National Coach Call about gaining weight, I was overwhelmed with how many people related to me just by me sharing my story of gaining 15 pounds and being super frustrated about it. So you want to build that bridge by sharing your personal stories and sharing where you've been. And people love for their leaders to be transparent and to be honest. So I'm not going to sit here and say that all of this is like lollipops and sunshine and it's always easy. There are days when you're so frustrated and you're just like, why aren't my coaches doing this or that or the other? You do have those moments and you have to bring it back to yourself and you have to say, okay, how am I leading? What am I doing to inspire and paint the picture for them and lead with a vision? Number 4, invite participation. So invite your coaches to share their ideas, really empower them and play up whatever their strengths are, play up whatever their talents are, and have them bring that to the table. If you have someone who's really great at creating videos, then have them help create videos for your Coach Basics group. Put their aces in their places and encourage people to use their natural God-given talents to create a better team environment for everybody. Number 5, encourage potential. So encourage your coaches to dream big. And this is something that I remember from Craig Holiday, where, he said every time you talk to your coach, you want to have them share that dream, share their big vision and why that's important to them, what drives them, and then give them praise for that. Really encourage them to think bigger and have that, burning sensation like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get off the phone with you so that I can get to work. So those are your 5 actionables. Okay, and my very last point, and I promise I'm wrapping it up soon, it's all about being proactive instead of reactive. A proactive leader can focus on business building activities that create value, but if you wake up in the morning and your first thing is that you check Facebook and then you respond to messages and you don't really focus on what are the things that I need to do and get done today that only I can do and where I can add value, then you're going to live in complete chaos. You're going to be at the mercy of other people's agenda. You're not going to get anything done. And by the time you get off the computer at the end of the day, you're going to feel frazzled instead of empowered. So you guys can see the difference from the illustration. I'm not going to read all these for you. But basically, you want to start your day being proactive by doing the things that are going to move your business forward. So think about the 3 vital behaviors and then the activities that you enjoy doing. So I enjoy blogging, so that's going to be at the top of my list. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide because I want to show you guys these actionables. So starting your day with purpose. This is something I would encourage you guys to go to the Franklin Covey training if you can. It really helped me get a clear just a clear mind for my day, a clear agenda. So starting your day with purpose means sitting down and thinking about what are the things that I need to do today? What do I need to get done? And actually writing them on your calendar instead of going on Facebook and just reacting to everything that's happening. If you get stuck in that reactive cycle, you need to close everything out. Close off the web browsers except for what you're working on. Close out any notifications, turn your phone on silent and actually turn it upside down so that you're not becoming distracted. So when you make that to-do list, you need to think about what are the 3 biggest business building activities I can do? And I'll give you a hint. They're called the vital behaviors. And then you can add in, is it making videos? Is it getting on your blog? Whatever that looks like for you. You want to also encourage your coaches to become independent from you as quickly as possible and teach them how to use the resources available. So like Brigitte said, going to the coach FAQ section, using Google, teaching them how you learn how to do things and where you learn to find that information instead of you waking up every day with 20 messages in your inbox about, hey, how do I qualify for Success Club? How do I sell a challenge pack? How do I send a link to somebody? You have to make them aware of the resources that they have and let them know, hey, my job as a coach is to help you along, but our goal is to help you become independent as quickly as possible. And again, turn off the pings and dings from your cell phone, close all distractions while you're working on your big three. Remember, if you fall into management mode and you stop doing the activities that are going to bring you customers, that are going to bring you business, your team's going to follow suit because they duplicate exactly what you do. Yes, Franklin Covey, I highly recommend it. And Brigitte touched on this, but it's so important as a leader, as you start signing up coaches, maybe you have one coach, 3 coaches, there's this very tempting moment in your business where you go from being a true leader, where you're leading from the front, where you're doing all the things that you need to do, to where you kind of can slip into management mode. And management mode is the danger zone. Management mode does nothing for you. It doesn't make you any money. It actually kind of makes you a crazy person because you're basically not the shepherd, the sheep herder. You're the sheep herder trying to get everyone to go in one direction. If you're the shepherd and you're leading by example, they're just naturally going to follow suit. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. Okay. Again, everyone has a different leadership style. Just to wrap up this call, I want you guys to just reflect on everything that you heard. Go back and listen to the recording. I always post my notes because I have to make specific notes. Otherwise, I'll go way off topic. So I can post those if you need them. But I want you to think about what you heard tonight and ask yourself, does this apply to my business? How can I tweak this or use this? Or how can I make this work for my team? And take ownership for your team. They need and want to follow from you. So it's great for me to sit here and say this, but at the end of the day, like Brigitte said earlier, it's all about you developing yourself as a leader, you doing the personal development, you getting out there and sharing it with your team. They signed up with you as their coach. They want to hear from you, not from me. So you have to lead the way. You have to be in front of the charge and showing them how all these things are important and how everything is going to fall into place for them. And have confidence, guys. Even that you're just starting out, you're already a leader. That's an amazing step. Have confidence in your abilities. And just remember that we're all working on becoming better leaders. You're never going to get to a point where you're like, well, learned everything I need to know. If you're not growing, you're dying, bottom line. So make personal development and getting on these calls next week and the week after a priority, and having your team join you. And I so appreciate you guys being on here and spending time out of your evening to hang out with us. My last quote, because I love quotes, set a goal so big that you can't achieve it until you grow into the person who can. Boom.
Awesome. All right. Let me cut my screen share off. Hopefully you guys can see me. I hope you guys got something out of that call and were able to turn off your Facebook and actually pay attention. I know it's hard sometimes when you're listening to a long lecture, but even if you don't have coaches in your downline yet, it's going to happen soon. And so you need to, like she said in the very end, start preparing yourself now for the big goals that you have in the future. With Epic Empire, we have our new coach training that happens on the first Monday of every month. So when you sign coaches, you give them the new coach checklist, right, that we have. And then you give them the gym personality test, and they need to tell you what their gym is, because you need to understand what the gyms are so that you can best mentor them over those 30 days. And then they will go through 21 days, sorry. They will go through the 21 days. Every first Monday of the month will be a new coach training. So when you sign a coach, if you sign them on the 17th, then they can start the first Monday of the following month. And they have that time to finish the checklist, to get their website set up. They start inviting if they want to. So just wanted to throw that out there and make sure you understood that we always do a new coach training at the first Monday of every month. So now we have a push to, what is it called? She named it something, push to team building or something. Push to team builder. And I have some really awesome training for you guys with that. And I'm giving you information, but you guys are running your own business. Just like they said on the call tonight, I can't work this business for you. I can't invite for you. I can't decide what your goals are, what your why is, what your big dream is. I have my own, and my from the very beginning of this and like, I want to have a team. I want to have this and that. I didn't have it at the time, but you know what? I started acting like it. I started doing it. I run our little Zoom call, and I think we had like 3 people on it at one time, maybe 2. Sometimes it's just me and one other person, me and Jason, like, hey, what's up? But I had a dream that I want 30,000 coaches on this team in the next 3 years. I mean, that's crazy to me, but that's what I want. That's my dream. And you guys should have your own dream, and you should be acting like it now as if you're going to make it happen, and your actions will follow your attitude. So I challenge you guys tonight to take ownership over your own business. Yes, I'm going to give you as much as I can. Libby, your upline, we're all going to provide and be there for you to support you. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is your business. So when you don't know the answer to something, don't ask anybody. Go on Google and look it up. Go into the FAQs. You know what I mean? Because you are your own CEO. If you need help, Epic Empire is there for you. If you need help, your upline is there for you. But I challenge you, the first thing you need to do is to try to solve it yourself, figure it out, learn. Because you're going to have that coach when you start signing coaches, and you've got like 12 coaches, you know, your first diamond, right? You're a new diamond. And if you started in a certain way where you are dependent on somebody else for information, and I'm not discounting the fact that you're supposed to be mentored when you first sign up as a coach. But then you start getting your 12 coaches that you sign, and they're all asking you questions, and you're still trying to maintain your workout, and you're still trying to take care of your family and all this other stuff. It can set up failure for you. And so I challenge you to, in the beginning, to really get up and lead yourself. Rely on the team when you need to, but lead yourself. And then when you sign coaches, teach them to do the same. And that's why I'm sharing that with you guys in love. And I still do the one-on-ones because I love that interaction and that accountability and sharing of ideas. Like Katie and I had a one-on-one today, and we just kind of went through different ideas that would work for her. And that's what we should be doing, is that little brainstorming moment. So, and if you guys have anything really cool that you want to add to Epic Empire, something that's working for you, some really like awesome idea, share with the team, because we can all benefit. And you know what? When we all do well, our volume is awesome and everybody gets paid. So I'm excited about tomorrow. It's payday. It's also rank advancement day. So we have some new rank advancements happening. And so I will be celebrating. Make sure, I wanted to say this, I meant to say this earlier. If we introduce somebody into one of our challenge groups, everybody needs to welcome that challenger. And I'm starting to change my like welcome. Say like, welcome, you're going to have so much fun, or welcome, when are you starting? And like a little bit more engaging. And we help each other out. You know what I mean? If I introduce somebody, or Libby introduced somebody, or Kathleen introduced somebody, we all kind of help each other out with making that person feel like, you know what? I feel really welcomed here. Like, these people like me. Because when I first joined a challenge group and people did that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, these people are all my friends. Like, they want to see my posts. Even though we don't necessarily like think that way, it feels good to be welcomed. So make sure we are overly friendly in our challenge groups, and our Epic Empire coaches that come into our team brand new and they're like, who are these people that you just introduced me to? Make them feel welcome. So love you guys. I just took this melatonin and I'm feeling kind of fuzzy. It's time for bed. I'll talk to you later. Bye.